Hello, my crafting friends. It's Erica here from Me to You Paper Crafts, and today I have quite an exciting card for you. I really love this card. Now, I will admit there are a lot more pieces to this. You're going to use, you have to design your colors. There's three basic cardstock colors to put together, and designer series paper. You want one of our two-sided papers so that you can get the front and the back. And the stamp set that I'm using is the Timeless Tropical stamp set. This is featured in our mini catalog that is going on right now until the end of May. And we're going to make a different version of this, and we'll see how we go. And the second version, I'm going to tell you, it's quite colorful, but I love it. So let's get started with that. So as usual, I will have a link to my blog post down below this video, and all of the cutting and scoring measurements will be on there, and then you watch this YouTube video to see how I put it together. So basically, you'll notice with this card, this is kind of a card, a base card that actually sits on a quarter panel of our 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So this becomes your card base, which is about 1/4 of an inch smaller than a regular card base. And then inside that is another card base, but look, it opens differently, okay? So that you get this left open, right open effect with your greeting on the inside. So there's quite a few different cutting measurements. So plan out your colors first and then mark down the measurements that you want to use for this. So I am going to start with, on this card, I decided I'm using the same stamp set, and I'm using the beautiful papers from that set as well. And one of the papers is a beautiful fruit medley. Now, if you've ever been to Hawaii, the fruit is abundant, and it is absolutely fresh and ripe and just, perfect. And when you go out to eat, or if you stay at a hotel, everything's cut for you, because some of the fruits can be a little challenging to cut, like pineapples and mangoes and papayas, and the star fruit. So for sure, it's nice when they have it all cut up and ready for you to eat some deliciousness. Okay, so I chose to use this early espresso as the back of my card. So this is pretty simple. It's just a quarter sheet of our 8.5 by 11. And then for the top layer of the card, the first card base, I actually have this piece of real red, and we're going to put the fruit medley on the front, and this is where we're going to actually cut out an oval using our oval dies. And then I've already pre-cut. This stamp set comes with these fantastic framelits, one of which is a complete pineapple. Here's the base, and here's the, I don't know what you call that, the fronds on the top. And so I've already done that. There's no coordinating stamp, you just cut these out. So I cut out the base using, I used crushed curry for this, and then I used the old olive for the top. So that's going to kind of sit attached to that oval window. And I went ahead and pre-cut a few of these. I think these are banana leaves, maybe, I'm not sure. I cut a few of those just to kind of put on the inside of the card, because if you notice on this card, you've got the trees on the front, the palm trees, and then when you open it up, there's a little surprise pineapple inside. So I wanted something inside as a little surprise. And then for the inside of the card, the other second card base, I've got Pool Party here. And then I'm going to put the reverse of this fruit pattern is just the pineapples. I'm going to put that on as the front, and that's where I'm going to put those leaves. And then on the inside, finally, we have our greeting panel. Okay, so basic supplies you need is well, really not that much. Once you've cut all your pieces and you've picked out your stamp set, and maybe you've die cut a few pieces to coordinate, you need your snail runner and maybe some Tombow glue. So let's get started with this. So I am going to take the first card base. I'm going to glue on all of my DSP. So I'm going to glue on this front panel. To this piece here. Let's get it as straight as I can get it. I love the red behind this paper. It really makes the fruit pop out. So there we go. Okay. And then I'm going to put, now this opens to the left. Make sure that you have the inside one opening to the right. And we're not going to put this on yet because I like to stamp it first before I adhere it in case I make any mistakes. So I'm going to put this piece on here. Like this. Okay. Now I wanted to give you a note about cutting your DSP because you want to end up with a few extra little strips to decorate the inside of the card. I take my 12 by 12 and if I'm making cards with it, I cut them into 4-inch strips so it's 4 by 5 1/4. That is your top layer of any card. And then from that, I trim it down. So these two pieces are a little bit of a different size. And then you end up with some extra strips here, okay? So make sure you start with your 4 by 5 1/4-inch pieces. So now we can go, now before I start assembling, I need to take this piece. So you put your DSP on the front of the card, and then I'm going to cut my oval out. Okay, so I'll go and do that and I'll be right back. So here we go. And then you end up with, let me just take my tape off here. I want to tell you about these tape flags. These are Post-it note little tape flags. They're, I think, you know, when you're reading a book or you want to mark a page, it's like a little bookmark tape. I absolutely love these for holding down my framelits. They do not tear your cardstock or your DSP, and because this part's not sticky, they're really easy to take off. So I buy these in these 2 different sizes, and you can use them over and over and over again. They're just fantastic. If I have to hold a piece of, you know, a narrow piece of DSP or cardstock on my trimmer, then I hold it down with those strips. I keep a few stuck to my trimmer. I think they're fun. They're the best to me. Washi tape has lifted off my cardstock. I've tried, yeah, Post-it notes are good, but they're a little bit awkward because they're too big. Anyway, so you end up with these 2 pieces left over, and so you can easily incorporate these into another card. Okay, so here's my framed piece, like that. And so then what happens is this card goes in, and make sure you orient this the right way. This is going inside like this, so that you see this pineapple on the inside. So you've got a really nice fruity card here. So that'll open, and then this will open with your greeting inside. Okay? All right, so now that I've done that, I can safely put the card together now. So I'll bring in my Early Espresso card base, and we're going to be gluing this onto here. So let's do that. And then we can put this one again. Make sure you orient this the correct way. You want it to open up to the right. So you're going to glue this one on the inside here. I hope all of you are doing well and you're still maintaining your sanity as you are more or less locked up inside your homes or apartments. It's definitely a bit of a challenging time, but those of you who are in the Stampin' Up! World, we have so much that we can play with and do, and you're adding color and shapes and design into your world, and it keeps your mind free of, I think, a bit of stress and worry, at least for the time being while you're crafting. And for those of you who don't know it, over on my Facebook page, which is From Me to You Paper Crafts, I've been doing just free live crafting sessions 4 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. So I have a group over there. You can join my group and you can join in. And the day before, I post all of the measurements and what you need to join me live, and for some free crafting sessions to keep you busy for a while. So if you'd like to do that, head on over there and join us. Okay, so that we've got the card basically almost finished now. This was a quick card. Like I said, once you cut your pieces, it goes, you know, quickly. Now, what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to glue this to this on here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, I think I should use a bit of Tombow on here just to make sure it stays. I wouldn't want it to come apart. So you just need a bit of Tombow at the bottom of that top, and I'm going to glue that. I think I'm going to glue it a little bit lower just because I put more glue on there. Okay. Like that. And I want to, yeah, we need to get rid of this glue because this is going to be floating in the window and you don't want it to stick down to the inside of that card. Okay, so just take off some of that glue. And you could wait and let it dry before you put it on if you've got some glue poking out the back. But I think this will be okay. Now, you can decide to pop it, you know, in the center. This one, just to let you know, for this one, I actually cut out 2 extra pieces. I die cut 2 extra pieces of Whisper White and mounted them together to make it more sturdy, and then I just glued it a little bit to the side. I felt it was a little precarious just gluing the bottom on here, and so I did glue it to the side a little bit. On this one, because it's, you know, taller than the window, I can put a little glue at the bottom, and I think I'll put a little glue at the top, or maybe I should offset it. I'm not sure. Let me see about, I think I might offset it because then you can sort of see the window. Otherwise, it's kind of covering the whole window. Yeah, maybe I'll put it over to the right here. Okay, so I just need a bit of glue. I'll just put a little bit of glue on the bottom and a bit of glue up the sides, just on the edges, like that. And then just a bit of glue, whoops, on some of these fronds on the side. There we go. And then let's stick this on here like that. Whoops. Let's make sure that stays down. I love this pineapple. Whoa, it's not sticking. It needs to be held a bit longer. This pineapple looks absolutely stunning if you die cut it with your foils. I did one with gold foil and silver foil at the top, and it was absolutely stunning. And I mounted it on a piece of watercolor paper that I had made a wash on in 3 pastel shade colors. It was very, very, very pretty. Okay, so there we have our pineapple on there. And okay, now on the inside of the card I have these leaves, and I don't want them to be seen from the outside, so I think I'll put a few on the inside or peeking through the window. No, I think I'll just put them on the inside. So I'm just going to use my tape runner for these. One here. And maybe one overlapping here. Like that. And then for the inside, let's put a greeting on here. So as I was saying earlier, hopefully you'll end up with some extra pieces of DSP that you can add to your card. I might do a bit of a crisscross thing on here. So let's glue these on. Let's make sure my bananas are the right side up. Like that, and I have another longer strip here. I could do a bit of the yellow. Like this. I think I'll just overlap it a tiny bit. Now, if you end up with extra glue, I like to pull out my glue eraser. Unfortunately, Stampin' Up! Does not sell this anymore, but I did find that they do have them in some of the dollar stores. And it's an essential tool in my mind because it will rub away. It will rub away Tombow glue as well, but you have to make sure your Tombow is well dry. Okay, so I'm going to trim this, and I always trim from the back. There we go. Now I did die cut. They have this wonderful Aloha in there. So I was going to put this somewhere. I think I was going to open up the card and put Aloha in here. And then my greeting I decided to use Rest and Relax, You Deserve It. So let's do this in maybe Mossy Meadow. And get this on as straight as I can. Okay, and I can add maybe another leaf, one more leaf in here. Like that, and now I'm going to glue this to the inside of the card. Oh, let's close that ink pad. I can see myself opening up my card and getting ink on it. I speak from experience. Okay, let's put this on the inside now. This should definitely open up some eyes when the recipient gets this in the mail, because it is quite colorful. Wow. Coming together. I think this would have been brilliant if I had done it in gold foil paper. Okay, so Aloha, last thing to do, and I think I'm going to put that, I don't want it to peek through, so I think I'll put that at the top. Now this is very finely cut, so my trick to glue that is to squirt out a tiny bit of Tombow on my silicone craft sheet, and then I always keep a little tin of Q-tips, and then I simply dab over it like that. And then let's put this in here. Maybe we'll angle it. Just put some scrap over it and glue that down. And I keep handy a wet one that I can use over and over again to clean up any messes in this little baggie. Okay, there's our card. A fruity, kind of happy, tropical, make you feel happy card. I hope you've enjoyed this fun fold. I'd love to see what you make. You can, once you join my Facebook group, then you can post in there and you can put up some pictures of your creations. I'm trying to create community in there, and you are more than welcome to join. Just send me a join request. And then tomorrow morning we're having a video, the first one you can watch, and then you can join in next week as we craft together through this trying time, I'll just say. So thank you so much for watching. Down below is a link to the blog post with all of the card measurements, and there are going to be some links to my playlist for other videos. Thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate you sharing. I would appreciate you shopping with me. Here's my April host code that you can use. And if you don't have a demonstrator, it would be my honor to become that for you. So thank you so much once again. Bye for now.